We finally have goats on our farm! Hi, my name's Nick and welcome to the Reagan Farm YouTube channel. My wife Ashley and I started talking about getting goats back in November of 2019, and that conversation quickly evolved into this crazy idea to buy a bunch of land and start a farm. A little more than 3 years later, and we have 4 goats now. This is Curry. He's a boar goat and only 1 month old right now. This breed is primarily a meat goat because they're the largest of all the breeds. Before we actually went to pick him up, our plan was to band him and raise him for meat. Once we got him, we absolutely fell in love with his sweet personality and his beautiful markings. We quickly made the decision to keep him intact and use him for breeding, but we needed to get some females. A few weeks ago, we got this girl here. Her name's Masala, and she's about 2 years old. We were told that she's a boar and mini La Mancha cross, but we're not entirely sure how accurate that is. I suppose that's one benefit of getting a registered animal, you actually know what you're going to get. But on the flip side, a registered boar goat can easily cost $2,000 to $3,000. It's really hard to justify those prices. Masala was exposed to a standard-sized La Mancha buck back in November and December of last year. That means that she could have a baby, or babies, sometime this April or May. La Mancha goats are primarily a dairy goat, which is great because we want to be able to use that milk to make some incredible cheeses. Last week, we got these 2 girls, Chèvre and Cabra. They're 1-year-old twins. Chèvre looks more like her mom, who is a Saanen boar cross, and Cabra looks more like their dad, who is a Saanen Spanish cross. Saanen goats are a Swiss dairy breed. Spanish goats were the main meat breed in North America until boar goats were brought over from South Africa in the 80s and 90s. Little Curry will be sexually mature at about 5 months old, so it won't be long before he's able to fill his role here on the farm. Saanen goats typically breed only in the fall, but boar goats can breed year-round. We'll find out if Chèvre and Cabra can be bred year-round sometime this year. In order to get milk from goats, they have to have had babies, which is why it's important that you have a male around at least some of the time. We plan on banding any males that are born and raising them for meat. Females will likely be sold when they're relatively young to prevent inbreeding. Now if Masala has a girl, we'll be able to keep her because she won't be related to Curry. We're currently keeping them in this 150-foot perimeter of electric netting, other than when we let them out supervised like they are right now. We're doing this to train them on the electric fence because within the next week or 2, we're going to be moving them out into the rest of our 25 acres where they'll be able to graze and actually help cut down on some of our growth in the area. We'll be using 600 feet of perimeter fence, which set up as a square could give us about a ½ acre, or if we set it up in more circular motion, it'll actually give us about 2/3 of an acre. This fencing is portable, so we'll be able to move it every few weeks, so eventually they'll be able to graze the entire property. Rotating them like this is also the best defense against parasites. Thank you so much for watching this video and meeting our goats. Make sure you subscribe if you don't already to follow along on our farming journey. We're very excited to see what kind of babies Masala has in the next couple months, and what kind of babies the other 3 goats will be making in about a year. Hopefully you'll also be checking back in so you can see for yourself as well. We'll see you next time!